And here's the field for the sprint. Very tough entry from Lucas. Mount Livermore and Pancho Villa. Livermore likes this track. Pancho Villa, $1.8 million yearling. Fighting Fit, who has broken bones in both of his front feet, but he races like the wind, and he's trained by Bobby Frankel, who grew up here at Aqueduct. Precisionist, who's going to get a speeding ticket this afternoon. And the interesting thing about this is that if this race were in California, Precisionist, my friend out on the West Coast, Jay Privman of the Los Angeles Daily News, says would be 8-5. He's made him his best bet of the day. So if you like value and you like a terrific horse, then Precisionist is the one for you. Charging Falls, who we saw in that spill, is in this one, but very much of a long shot. And Committed, the mare with Steve Cawthon aboard. 4 wins this year in 1985, 3 in Ireland and 1 in France. Ziggy's Boy, who has a shot with Cordero, is 5-2, getting a lot of support here. 56 in a row. Love the name. He's by DiMaggio. Get it? Beaten lesser in California, though. He's up against the biggies today. And Entropy at 24-1 always seems to get part of the purse. Tao Wee was his mommy. Smile, who's been racing in distance events, tries the sprint. Vilacaya, a 3-year-old filly who was second to Committed. Vacarme, and then we have the field of Al Salah and Key to the Moon, both quite long shots. That's the field for the sprint. I think the toughest one to figure of the day.
Yeah, the wagers are having the same difficulty at the moment. It's Ziggy's Boy, the number 6 horse, is the favorite, with Mount Livermore, Pancho Villa the entry second. Let's go to Tom Hammond.
Sprinting. I always thought it was America's game. What is a European grass horse doing here?
She's a lady. She's hot. She's just been to Paris, and she's given the colts a whipping.
That may be okay over there. We'll kick a little dirt in her face, and she'll say, "Where's the plane back to Europe?"
Ziggy's Boy, trained by Walter Kelly, one of the grand old men of the turf. Been around almost as long as you, Harv.
He ran a big race up at Saratoga in August. Ever since then, not that good, but he's got Cordero aboard today.
Pancho Villa, named for a famous bandit, and sometimes he steals races, other times he just picks your pocket.
Never runs 2 good ones in a row, but he's trained by Lucas, and that's a plus.
Mount Livermore, another Lucas horse, and his plus, he's never lost at Aqueduct, something Harvey Pack could never say.
I've lost enough on this horse to balance Reagan's budget. But what about the horse on the rail, Fighting Fit?
Well, he's had so many shoeing problems, I think his only shot is if he had time to visit Gucci's before this race.
His biggest problem besides his shoes, he's drawn the rail in a 14-horse field. That's a tough place to be in an Aqueduct sprint.
And Tom Durkin ready for the call, the 6-furlong sprint.
Thank you, Dick Enberg. They're moving into line. There goes Key to the Moon. We've got 2 more to load after him, Vilacaya and Vacarme. There's Vilacaya, Freddie head aboard. Just a little bit reluctant to go on the gate, but now he's in nicely. 1 more back, and that is Vacarme, the final horse in this field of 14 crack sprinters. They're all in line. They're off. Smile is away quickly for the lead. Charging Falls is there. There goes Mount Livermore. Mount Livermore sprints clear quickly now by a length. Charging Falls is trying to stay with him. Precision is toward the inside. Smile is sent after the lead from the outside from 4th. Ziggy's Boy came away racing in 5th. 56 in a row is 6th. Al Salah is 7th on the inside. On the outside there goes Al Salah now beginning to move up. Committed is now moving through toward the inside from 10th position. On the outside, Vilacaya now racing in 11th. Pancho Villa is 12th at this point. Fighting Fit, he's putting in his run on the inside now. Then Vacarme is next. Entramy is far back in the field, along with Key to the Moon, and now the field comes to the top of the stretch. Mount Livermore on the inside. Smile is right at his neck. Here comes Precisionist, and he's charging down the middle of the racetrack. And then farther back, the mare Committed is racing in for it. They're inside the final furlong. Smile, Mount Livermore, Precisionist surging. Smile is short laid. Precisionist down the outside. Mount Livermore toward the rail. What a finish. Here comes Precisionist to snatch the victory in the final strides. And there is Precisionist. He was the winner, stalking the early pace, and it was a quick one. 22 flat, 44 and 4, and the final time for this 6 furlongs, 1:08 and 2. Chris McCarron and Precisionist to win the Breeders' Cup Sprint.
A stirring drive. Whipped home by Chris McCarron, Precisionist. Precisionist, the winner of the 6 furlong sprint, was 7th in a field of 8 in the 84 Breeders' Cup Classic. Precisionist, the winner this afternoon.
A tremendous training accomplishment by Ross Fenstermaker. Chris McCarron rode a beautiful race, mowing them down and picking up the pieces through the lane.
And owner Fred Hooper celebrates at 88. Number 3 horse, Precisionist.
He was doing the tango the other night, and he must be in 7th heaven right now as he comes down to the winner's circle. A tremendous start, beautiful. You can see just off the rail, the number 3 horse in the red and blue colors. He's getting his position in 3rd there, with Mount Livermore taking the early lead. Precisionist, I thought, might be trapped in on the rail. Smile with the yellow cap is going to charge up into the 2nd spot, but moving down the backstretch, Precisionist, who's been racing long and has been 5 months away from the races. My soothsayer, Jay Privman, had the right one here, making him his best bet of the day. But as they zip through those fractions, 22 and 44 and 4, I said Dave's friend's track record was not in danger. It certainly was. They were only a 1/5 of a second, just a tick off the track record. Here comes Smile on the outside now to charge up to take the lead by a head. Mount Livermore 2nd. On the outside, here comes Precisionist, and he has the top 2 measured. Precisionist with Chris McCarron is going to mow him down, and down the stretch they come. Smile has the lead for just a second, but here comes Precisionist on the outside with the well-timed ride of Chris McCarron, the Dorchester, Massachusetts native, who was an outstanding apprentice jockey and a great journeyman. The regular rider of John Henry wins another one.
Precisionist, Pete Axhelm's pick. He isn't Pete and Precisionist. The winner, Smile, 2nd. Mount Livermore 3rd, and closing 4th.
For the 1986 Metropolitan Handicap, Dave. And there's El Bosco, who's a handy little horse, but he's 0 for 2 this year. Last year, though, $374,000 in earnings and only 1 win. He comes from off the pace. That's his best game, and he's ridden by Robbie Davis, who hails from Pocatello, Idaho. Number 2, Aggressive Bid, has been scratched. Here's the 3 horse, Ziggy's Boy, by Danzig, out of the real good race mare, Joe's Little Girl. Last race, he was in front all the way, but just got nipped at the wire by Love That Mac, so maybe it's better if he stays just a bit off the pace. And Walter Guerra is the substitute rider. Number 4 is Garthorne. Win or lose, this is one of the best handicap horses in the United States. Raced in France until last fall. 5 out of 6 wins since making the trip across the pond. He's good on turf or dirt. He is one tough cookie. Now, his mile race at Aqueduct on March the 28th was so good, if he runs that back, he'll destroy this field. His jockey is Raphael Mason. Number 5 is Lady Secret, the filly. She's always tough. She has the speed and $1.5 million in her bank account. And Patrick Day, who's already had 3 winners this afternoon, is aboard. It's a good thing he didn't succeed at trying to be a rodeo rider. Fortunate for us, he is one of the top jockeys in the land. Number 6 is Love That Mac. We talked with Eddie Maple. Love That Mac has a lot of speed, but the question mark is the distance. And Eddie Maple, who comes from that racing family with brothers Sam and Mark, who are also jockeys, looking for another Met win this afternoon on the long shot. Number 7 is Smile. 86 debut, a corker on the grass here 2 weeks ago. He won easily with a little bit of trouble, but Smile's best race was probably last year in the Breeders' Cup Sprint, where he finished 2nd to Precisionist with trouble there. Jacinto Vasquez gets the mount on Smile, a long shot with a chance this afternoon. Number 8 is Turcoman, who won his last 4, including the Oaklawn Handicap, and last out. And before that, a track record in the Widener at Hialeah. He comes from off the pace. He's done just about everything. John Preachy just talked with John of Newsday. He says he's the best handicap horse in the country, but the question mark is 6 weeks away from the races. Can he do it? We'll see. He has Chris McCarron aboard, one of the best. And Proud Truth, who was acting up in the paddock here, by the way, but he's such a professional racehorse, it's hard to believe he's 0 for 4 this year, but he still is the horse that won last year's Breeders' Cup Classic, dueling Gate Dancer right down to the wire, and Jorge Velasquez is aboard, 123 pounds to pack over the mile this afternoon. What a field in the Metropolitan, Chris.
Well, Dave, they're calling it maybe the best field they've had here in over a decade for handicap horse racing in New York. When we come back, we'll have a closer look at the Metropolitan Mile.
This should be an outstanding race, as we have discussed. just before the race is to be run. They're all in line. Let me tell the folks here. They're all in line. Standing very nicely for the starters. And they're off. Lady Secret going for the lead, and Smile on the outside is in second. Then it's Garthorne, Ziggy's Boy, and Love That Mac about two to Proud Truth, and El Bosco and Turco Man is eighth. Down the back stretch. Lady Secret has the lead by about an inch. Smile on the outside is second by less than a length, and Ziggy's Boy on the rail is third. The quarter 23 and 2. Lady Secret, the filly, continues to lead by about a half. Smile on the outside is second by about a neck. Ziggy's Boy on the rail is third by a length. Then it's Garthorne and Love That Mac heads apart. Now Ziggy's Boy gains on the rail to challenge Lady Secret. Ziggy's Boy on the rail now puts ahead in front. Lady Secret on the outside is back into second by a half. Smile on the outside, a long shot is third by a length and a half. Then it's Love That Mac and Garthorne about six back is Proud Truth and El Bosco and Turco Man. The favorite continues far back in eighth. The half and 45 and 4 as they approach the top of the stretch. Lady Secret comes on again on the outside of Ziggy's Boy. Farther out is Smile. Farther out again is Love That Mac. Four horses across the track. They're at the top of the stretch. Love That Mac on the outside now takes the lead. Lady Secret on the inside comes on. There he heads apart. Smile between them in third. Getting on the outside is Garthorne. Farther out here comes Proud Truth and Turco Man. They pass the eighth pole. Lady Secret, Love That Mac, and Garthorne heads apart to the lead. And Turco Man is closing. But it's Garthorne now gaining the lead. Garthorne has the lead in the Met. At the wire, it's Garthorne winning by a length. There's photo between Love That Mac, Lady Secret, and Turco Man. The time on the board. Wow. Very fast. 1 minute 33 and 3/5 seconds, only 3/5 off of the track record. Back to you, Chris.
Thank you, Marshall. That would be the second fastest time in the 93-year history of the Metropolitan Mile Handicap. So it is Garthorne, the horse that for the first 5 years of his life ran in France. Came over to America, lost in a turf race, and then won all 4 starts. Now make it 5 on the dirt. Garthorne undefeated on the dirt, carrying today 124 pounds. The morning line 3-1. The dark brown horse by Believe It, a sire standing at Claiborne Farms out of Garden First and Cayenne the sire. The unofficial winner of the Metropolitan Mile, Garthorne, will be back with the official numbers.
So the richest ever steeplechase race won by Census and Jeff Teeter, and now the sprinters at Santa Anita.
And number 1 is Smile, who has the best chance for an upset, has the rail, early speed, second time LASIK. He'll be able to save ground. You can throw out his last. He hates a sloppy track. That was a sloppy one. He's good sprinting. He led most of the way and finished second to Precisionist in the Breeders' Cup Sprint last year. Jacinto Vasquez is the pilot. Number 2, Double Schwartz, the best 5-furlong horse in Europe, but maybe the Americans have too much early zip and they'll just leave him behind. He's never been around a turn, so watch how he reacts on the bend. Pat Ettery, who won on his last, rides again. Number 3, Taylor Special gets his early speed from his daddy, Hawkins Special, one of the fastest sprinters I ever called. Taylor Special has won all over the country and has been making clockers do a double take at their watches of late. He's ready, and Randy Romero, the pilot, is also. Number 4 is Bedside Promise, who improved dramatically last out. Now, even with a poor start, too. He was wide into the stretch, and he would need, though, a faultless trip to beat Groovy and the other speedballs in here. Well, beat Pinkai Jr., who won the Juvenile last year with Tasso, and the first race this afternoon is the rider. 5 is Green Desert, who at age 3 is the best 6-furlong horse in Europe, but always on the grass, so how will he handle the dirt? He has instant acceleration, he's dangerous, and the talented Walter Swinburne knows this horse. He's ridden him his last 9 times. Carload is the 6th horse. Never given me any indication he could handle the likes of the field this afternoon. They're taking a shot, and Bill Shoemaker, the wizard, is aboard. Number 7, Love That Mac, owned by a retired mailman and 2 teenage brothers. 29-year-old trainer Wayne Widmer claimed this horse for only $50,000 last September. A Cinderella story here in the Breeders' Cup, Dick. Pat Day tries to finish off their fairy tale. Number 8 is Pine Tree Lane. Here's a horse that was purchased for only $22,000 as a yearling. The only filly in the sprint, so she gets in at 123. Pine Tree Lane, a runaway winner last out at the Meadowlands, beating Laser Show and Jean's Lady. Angel Cordero Jr. will have her close to the pace. She looks like she's the only one that can run with Groovy. And on the outside, that speed freak Groovy, who won the ancient title here at Santa Anita, carrying 123 pounds. His weight package today, because he is a 3-year-old, 108-1 last out. He had some awesome races before this year's Triple Crown. He disappointed in the Derby and the Preakness, moved to Jose Martin's barn this summer. He's been sprinting with Abandon, and Jose Santos rides the odds-on Texas bred. Don't go away. We'll be back with more from Santa Anita after this timeout.
Back at Santa Anita, we're awaiting the 6 furlong Breeders' Cup Sprint. In that first half mile, this class of sprinter will be going about 38 miles an hour out of the gate. $2 million races featuring the top 2-year-olds in the nation and the world have been won. Capote wins the 2-year-old Colt $1 million race. The juvenile and the juvenile fillies won by Brave Raj convincingly. Brave Raj, $10 for the payoff. And in the steeplechase, the richest ever, $250,000. It was Census winning back in Maryland. Now let's go down to Harvey Pack.
Thank you, Dick.
Far behind, and here are the current odds.
And Bedside Promise is the only one other than the favorite who is down from the morning line, starting at 12 and moving down now to 9-1. Maybe that's because Ben Kai is aboard. And Groovy, as you see, is now up to 2-5. Right now, let's take a look at some of the major contenders in this Breeders' Cup Sprint. Let's join Jay and Harvey for that. Talking about time a little bit earlier, the track record here for 6 furlongs was set by Chinook Pass. As a matter of fact, I called that race when I worked here, 1:07 3/5. It might be in danger.
We might mention that Dave Johnson is part of the proud heritage of Santa Anita. First race was on Christmas Day, 1934, and the venerable Joe Hernandez called the races here for nearly 40 years. Dave Johnson had his stint of 7. Let's go upstairs to Tom Durkin.
All right, the champion pro tem in the gate. Groovy's in. They're in the gate. And they're off. And Pine Tree Lane is away first. Groovy was away second, and Smile away third. Up the backstretch. Pine Tree Lane in front by a neck. Groovy to her outside, to her inside at Smile. It's 2.5 lengths back to Double Schwartz now, who races in third. In between horses, there goes Green Desert now, gaining ground from fourth. Bedside Promise fifth on the outside. Taylor Specialist sixth, and he's about 8 lengths off the lead. Love That Mac is second to last, and Carlo trails the field. Into the far turn, Pine Tree Lane and Smile in a speed duel, and Groovy is third with less than 3 furlongs to run. Pine Tree Lane and Smile, and they are going at it, and they're stalked by Groovy as they come to the top of the stretch, and then it's 5 lengths to Bedside Promise now, who swings to the outside. Taylor Special there toward the inside as the field turns for home. An astonishing half. 43-3, and they're coming to the final furlong. Smile digs in. He's holding on to a short lead. Pine Tree Lane is right at his neck. Groovy is still third. A late run from Bedside Promise, and it's Smile. He's in front, and Smile is going to win it. And then it was Pine Tree Lane and Bedside Promise. Groovy a disappointing fourth. Groovy never got to the lead. Highly unexpected here. And Smile and Pine Tree Lane, a speed duel around the course, and as they hit the wire, Smile prevailed.
Oh, my. A big surprise. Groovy apparently finishing fourth. Smile was a tenacious second last year, remember, beaten by 3/4 of a length in this race by Thomas, and Groovy the favorite fourth.
And you know, they call the people who bet those big sums to show bridge jumpers. This is going to be big payoffs for the show spot because Groovy was off the board. Here's the action around the final turn after a scorching 21-1. Smile, what a gutsy performance. What a gutsy ride. Jacinto Vasquez fights off the challenge of the filly, Pine Tree Lane, with Angel Cordero. Down the stretch they come. Smile on the inside. The filly, Pine Tree Lane, who ran a big race on the outside. Groovy just simply cannot make up the ground, and it's going to be Smile, who has a winning habit now. In fact, many thought this horse was going to go in the mile turf race and thought that Scotty Schulhofer was crazy about putting Smile in this one. He proved that he is not crazy, and the NBC photo finish camera shows that Smile was best by about 2. The filly second, and the 4-horse Bedside Promise with Pinkai grabs the show spot from the odds-on Groovy, who was 4th.
Florida bred, and what a huge price for this field. Smile went off at 11-1, unofficially the winner, and 108-2. Pine Tree Lane and Bedside Promise finish a surprising 1-2-3.